It's so difficult to decide to get started. How do you even do it? Where do you begin? What are we even working on? For me, I just knew. I knew it was time to get started, and I didn't even know what I was even working on. I was 320 pounds and just physically, mentally drained. I was so upset all the time, so negative, and my habits were terrible. I had drinking and overeating, having to make sure I had food all the time, snacks all the time, sneaking food because I felt so terrible about it. And when those habits for me, they weren't going away, and I was only making it worse by carrying on. Nobody could have told me to do something about it. Sure, all the suggestions are there. You see all the marketing and all the people and your circles. Maybe you've got athletes and people doing things that you can't do, and you're wanting to be there, but you're stuck in your mind. I was stuck in my mind, and then just everything was uncomfortable. Showering was uncomfortable and difficult to reach behind myself, and whatever, wiping when I went to the bathroom was uncomfortable, and everything was uncomfortable. I couldn't go upstairs without being out of breath, and it just amounted very heavily, as much as it was physically, mentally. So draining. I didn't know how to get out of it. And just without even knowing it, just doing one small thing by committing to dry January and beyond, taking it 1 month, 1 day at a time. It was such a massive change for me because it gave me a little bit of self confidence and permission to do things I wasn't normally doing. So, by not drinking or not overeating, picking away at one small piece at a time, and then doing that over long term. We'll get to long term later, but for starting out, just pick one thing that you can not do by eating or consuming something, or do by exercising or reading, that you wouldn't normally do. Pick that one thing and commit to doing that for 30 days, then 100 days. Just stick to that one thing. Don't worry about anything else, just one thing. And then when you're done that 100 days, pick something else, but continue the first thing. Test yourself, see if you need to track it. Write it on the calendar. That's what I did. And all of these check marks and boxes and circles and squares on the calendar, I didn't have to tell anybody what it was. I didn't have to feel like I had to explain what I was working on to other people. I've talked about this on podcasts, and this was the biggest thing for me. I recognized that I was that upset, I was that uncomfortable, and I got to a point where I needed a change. And if you're there, if there's something that you need to work on, don't feel like you have to do the whole thing right now. Just pick that one thing that you're going to commit to for 30 days, 60 days, 100 days, and just see how you feel at the end. And then pick something else. You got it.